Hello. So, I'm probably not the first person to think of doing this, but I thought it would be interesting to document my time here in quarantine hotel because basically I am back. By the time this goes out, you already know that I'm back in New Zealand. I had to spend the first 2 weeks in what is known as quarantine hotel for 14 days since I arrived. I arrived last night at like 10:15, and 14 days from then I'll be allowed to go home, but for the time being, I have to live in this hotel room. It's a pretty nice hotel, pretty standard. It's just a room, it's just a single room. Already hooked up my, I brought my PlayStation, so I've already hooked up GTA 5, so I can play that, among other games. And this is my first vlog to tell you about my breakfast that they've sent up, which is French toast with bacon and sausages. And I also got an extra fruit salad bowl, so that's exciting. I don't know what I was expecting. It does seem kind of small, but let's have a look. Oh, this looks alright. Oh, and a fried egg, of course. Okay, so it's literally 2 pieces of French toast, a fried egg, a couple slices of bacon, and there's a sausage in there. It looks pretty good. Right. So, what I wanted to talk about was because this is day one, I want to talk to you about my trip from the airport, or from airport to airport to airport, because I flew from Heathrow to Singapore, and then from Singapore to Auckland in New Zealand. And for the most part, for the whole part, it was all really smooth. It was totally safe. Like, had my little mask. Loads of stuff is in place now to make everything like as safe as possible, which is super cool. But it was funny that, like, similarly to the way that you've probably seen if you've been keeping up with politics, the way that the governments, so UK government compared to New Zealand government, have been tackling the coronavirus stuff. I get that, like, obviously there's more people, so it's obviously harder to patrol. But when I got to Heathrow, there was a big sign saying like no entry for people other than passengers, which is obviously good. Means less people in the hotel, less people in the airport. But there was a big sign saying you will be temperature checked upon entry. Anyway, so there's a bridge leading to Terminal 2, and there were two airport workers stood up there, and I was pretty far away at the time, so like everyone's bottlenecking into this thing. So I assume this is where the temperature checks are happening. Turns out those two workers are literally just making sure people are going to the right terminal. So they just, they ask who you're flying with and where you're going, and then they just kind of guide you on your way. I mean, obviously, to Heathrow's credit, there is like hand sanitizer stations on the way into the airport, but other than that, there isn't any real precautions taken. And there's like so many people around because, well, so many people in comparison, relative to coronavirus. Obviously, it's not so many people as it normally would be. Checking in was super normal. Going through security was still normal. Just having to take your mask off to obviously show your face for passport stuff. Everything on the other side of security is shut, other than like WH Smith and Boots and other essential shopping stores like Rolex and Burberry. Other than that, though, it was pretty standard. Just go to the gate, get on the flight. Yeah. Normal. Like, I guess because there was so fewer people on the flight, they didn't bother doing like boarding in stages. It was literally just like, this plane is now boarding, everybody get on. Which, I wasn't in any rush to kind of get into the tin can, especially having to sit next to anybody. But then, wouldn't you know it, as I'm going on the plane, they obviously, like, as best they could, space people out. So obviously, if you've been on a plane, you know that like usually seats are 3 seats at a time, so they managed to put like one person at the window, one person at the aisle, nobody in the middle, to like at least like do their best for social distancing. Unfortunately, when I got to my row, there was already a girl sitting in my seat, already had her headphones in, already tapping away, trying to set up her movies. Idiot. And then when I got there, so then I started freaking out because I was like, oh shit, am I in the wrong row? No, this girl's just in my seat, on my screen, already touching my stuff, already getting her corona fingers all over my business. And then turns out she was just in the middle seat. I'd taken my time to get on the plane because I wasn't in any rush, like I said. But Christ, what was she thinking? Just sit in your allocated seat. Even like at least wait for the plane to take off before you think of moving. And then obviously I had to sit next to her, so I was just pissed off the whole flight. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. She did do one, like, a tiny, but it was annoying. And then she had her giant boots bag that it was like where my feet were supposed to go. So I was like, great, just no room for my feet either. So I mean, she's not a horrible person. She's just obviously useless as a person. And then I could have sworn that I saw like her British passport in her like wallety thing, and that was when I really gave it to her in my head, like, oh, you stupid, bring your coronavirus to New Zealand, you son of. But we move, as I always say, but we move. Other than that, though, so that portion of the flight was super cool. Like no issue. Like they feed you normally. Oh, they give you like a little pack that has like hand sanitizer, couple baby wipes, and a face mask, which is like really nice. And they gave it to us on the second flight as well. So I assume all flights are getting those. So that's great. And they don't give them to you. They just leave them in a box, and you just grab one yourself, which I guess minimizes the chances of transferring coronavirus. But then I feel like it's like if you have like peanuts at a bar, you just put your hand in the thing. Like I don't know if it minimizes it or if it makes it more likely, because there's so many more random hands going to this thing. I think maybe they should just hand them out with a gloved hand and just give them to people as they get on. But it's not for me to tell you how to do your job, airport, but we move. Right, so for anybody interested, I was flying with Singapore Airlines, great airline. I mean, what am I looking for? A sponsorship from Singapore Airlines? Whatever. So when we landed in Singapore, they actually staggered the exit of how we get off the plane. So people who were going to Singapore got to get off first, and then just then they disembark people by what flight they were on. So obviously I was on the Auckland flight, just wait for that call, and then you get this cool like wristband if you're in transit. So everybody who wasn't going to Singapore got one of these, so they can like differentiate between who's going to what airport festival. From there, they took the 20 or so of us off the plane, and then we had to walk single file. They asked us to spread out, which is pretty, like Singapore comparative to London was a bit more comprehensive with what they were doing for social distancing. At the very least, Heathrow had like stickers on the seats at the terminal that was like, please don't sit here, so like they're at least making the gaps. But this one was like, they didn't walk around with like a 2-meter ruler being like, hey. But they were conscious of it enough that it made me feel like I should be more aware of it. Security check was also like 2 meters apart. Everyone's wearing masks. Everyone was wearing masks in Heathrow as well. All the staff were wearing masks in Heathrow as well, so that's cool. And then the holding area, also socially distanced as best as they can. They've similar to Heathrow. They got the stickers down on like every second seat, so everybody's not sitting shoulder to shoulder. And then the second flight was just more of the same, really. Like, thankfully this time I wasn't sitting next to some absolute moron, but strangely enough, literally, there was like maybe there was like 100 people on the first flight. Like there was like I walked past people in business, people in premium economy. Like I was in like the back section of the plane, so the front section of economy was like full by the time I got on, and then by the time I got to the back, it was all pretty full. But then on the second flight, where it was literally just, as far as I know, just mostly predominantly New Zealand residents, New Zealand citizens, etc. Rona. On this flight, only like there was nobody else on the flight. It was literally just 50, like at best, probably 50 people in the back section of the plane, all just 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And then annoyingly, like, everyone's sitting window, aisle, and then for some reason, this guy on my row, like I'm at the window, this dude just sits next to me. Whips out his book, puts his water bottle in the seat. Like he is here for like the 9 hours that we're flying. He puts his water bottle in, he puts his book in, he puts his Kindle in. He's got all his little bits and bobs just in the chair next to me. Thankfully though, once we took off and we was it like cruising altituded, I don't know how to what do I look like? He moved to the aisle seat, but why did it take you so long, man? Like we all it's all mandatory to wear masks during the flight, so we were all trying to minimize the spread if we've got it. But even still, you idiot, go away. From there, once we landed, it was all pretty straightforward, really. Just everybody off the plane, and then just walk. There's no duty free, there's no shops, everything's walled up, padded up. It's all very white and clinical, and there's just not a lot going on. It's just like one long tunnel now at New Zealand Airport, for those of you who've been to New Zealand Airport before, or International Airport if you know what I'm talking about. And then it's just social distancing. Everybody's really lovely. Obviously I'm not trying to say it just because I'm from New Zealand. I'm just trying to say how great we are. But like security guys are real nice. They put you up in a line. There's like 4 different like medical people who are like, hi, how you doing? How's the flight? Blah blah blah. How you feeling? Do you have any symptoms? You reply, obviously. And then they just take your temperature. You know, they shove a thing in your ear, like the doctor does. To be honest, I didn't even question who these people are. Maybe I should have. How do I know that they're like medical professionals? You know, they shove the thing in your ear, take the temperature, and then they just send you on your way. You go up to. There's no more e-passport. You just go up to the desk. They give you the stamp. They send you on your way. You get your bags, and then you go out, and there's obviously no family, no friends at the airport. The airport is shut. The airport is literally just there for people to come in, to fly out and fly in, by the looks of things. So you go out, you hand over the card that they give you, and then a guy writes your name down just to verify that you're coming through, I guess. And then you jump on the coach, you jump on the big bus, and then they drive you to the hotel, and that's where I am now. So pretty straightforward. The lady from the Ministry of Health gets on the bus when you arrive. She gives you the rundown. That was pretty cool. She said that basically, so within the hotel they treat it as if we're on level 4 coronavirus. I don't know how to explain. I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. And then, so obviously outside New Zealand, like all the lockdown restrictions are done. You know, people are just going about their lives. It's back to normal as far as I know. But at least in the hotel, like if I leave my room for any reason, I have to put a mask on. I'm obviously not allowed to touch anybody or interact with. I'm not supposed to interact with anybody. I mean, obviously you can talk. You can like talk to people like a normal person, but obviously you're not supposed to meet up. I'm not supposed to go room to room. I mean, if you know anything about quarantine hotel, even if you don't, especially if you don't know anything about quarantine hotel, look it up, man, because there are some like horror stories already from absolute morons that have just been abusing or they have been escaping these places. Just idiots. Now I'm here for the next 14 days. I get 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I get snacks. I get a drink every day. Which annoyingly, I picked water because I was like, well, you know, I'm going to spend 14 days alone. I better pick like the smart drink. Turns out you get 2 free waters in your room, and when you arrive, they give you a sandwich and a water. So I've got like tons of water, and tap water is safe in New Zealand. So I should have just. So my other options were like Coke Zeros, whatever. So yeah, I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I get 2 laundry tokens. There is an exercise area. You can book to go on walks. You can get out of the hotel for a little bit. Yeah, so they've got an outside area. There's free, unlimited free Wi-Fi, reception 24 hours. You can do deliveries. Your family can come see, friends and family can come see you from like a distance and deliver essential goods. No home cooked meals though. And then the menu is also wicked. Like there's a really nice range of stuff. Like I don't know if they just make it in house, if this is what was normally offered in the kitchen here at the hotel. But so I had French toast as you saw. But my other options were mushroom, capsicum, and cheese omelette, or cereal selection for breakfast, and additional items that you can just, I assume you can pick as many as there are. So it was fruit salad, fresh baked pastries, fruit juice, and fresh 1 litre milk bottle. For lunch, the options were chicken mee goreng, like stir-fried egg noodles with a bunch of like vegetables and stuff, or yellow pearl couscous with mandarin, balsamic, roasted beetroot, cauliflower, florets, and lemon parsley gremolata. I mean, I don't even know what gremolata is, but it sounds pretty good. And then my afternoon snack of options, chocolate profiteroles or market fresh whole fruit. And then dinner today, at least, because that's the thing, it says like Saturday 18th of July menu, so I assume every day is different? I don't know. So dinner, parmesan baked salmon or sauteed mushroom and pepper fettuccine. Oh, yeah. And then so dessert, lemon cheesecake or a pecan tart. And then so that's the menu. And then the other nice thing that they give you when you get here are these 2 little pamphlets that I haven't looked over too properly yet, but it's all about like getting the support you need during your 14 days. So I guess and then your welcome pack for managed isolation. So I was looking through the welfare thing before, and it's like loads of cool stuff. Like they've got like phone numbers for helplines, loads of stuff on mental health. So there's heaps of good stuff that they've put in place to make sure, like, even though you're like stuck in like a little box for 14 days, which is like a pretty lush room, to be honest. Like pretty lucky to be in such a nice hotel. Obviously you're essentially alone for 14 days, other than whoever you can message or call during your stay. And they gave me a free SIM card. That was the other sick thing. So like if I wanted to, like I didn't really have any plans to use it because don't really have any explanation for that. I just don't have any plans to use it. So yeah, New Zealand has really taken care of everybody. Well, I mean, this is day one. It might go to shit in a couple of days. Who knows? At least for the time being, everything seems pretty cool. For those of you interested, the reason I've actually come home isn't just because there's no wrestling in Brit Race at the moment, but also because I just came back to see my mum. Really, came back to see my mum and my dad. So me and my dad organized it. My mum doesn't actually know. By the time this is all over, maybe I would have posted something online about my trip and how we've kept this a secret. The funny thing is, this hotel is literally around the corner from where my mum works, so I'm so ready for her to, like, when she finds out where I was staying, she's gonna be so mad that I didn't tell her, or that my dad didn't tell her. So yes, this is a nice just holiday. Like, I don't plan on staying here indefinitely. I'm hoping to get back to the UK, not as soon as possible because I want to enjoy my time here, but you know, yeah, it's just a trip to come see my parents because I barely get to see them anymore. So it'll be a nice little surprise. I don't really know how we're going to do the reveal. You know, if it'll be some sort of classic, like, go out for dinner. You know, my mom and my dad go out for dinner, and then I come in as, like, the server or the waiter or something, like, or just come down and sit down. Because guaranteed, there's going to be waterworks. You know, she'll cry, I'll cry, it'll be nice. Other than that, though, yeah, this is the end of breakfast, day one. I don't know if I'll do another one today, if it's worth it. I can't even ask if you're interested, because the thing is, I can't post any of this stuff until quarantine is over, because I can't reveal that I'm in quarantine, because my mum will see this video. Yeah, so when I bulk upload all this stuff, I hope you enjoy it. This is day one. Signing off. Okay, so we're back. So I guess I will be doing this. I figured I should just do all my meals because it's interesting. So what did I get for lunch? I got a chicken mee goreng, stir-fried egg noodles with chili, sweet soy, broccoli, carrot, wombok, garlic chives, mung bean sprouts, and crispy shallots. Or shallots, I don't know. So I was kind of disappointed that the option was mee goreng, because I'm pretty sure you can just get that from, oh man, it smells good. Just from the supermarket. Mee goreng noodles. I don't know if you can get them in the UK, but yeah. Anyway, yep, so that's what I got for lunch. And a bottle of water. So now I've got my my two complimentary waters over there, my bedside water over there, and now my fourth water of the room is here. So that's great. Got a lot of water, so I'm gonna stay real hydrated as I do a whole lot of nothing in here. So yep, that's part 2 of today. You can really taste the wombok. So what I forgot to mention was I got a call from reception who said, "Hey, have you got the menu for next week?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Turns out they attached it to the breakfast bag, which also comes with like this lovely isolation newsletter and a little isolation inter-room competition, they call it. So today's one is name the city and the landmarks. That's kind of fun. And then if you're one of the first 5 people to reply, you get free coffee. But I don't like coffee, so I'm not playing. There's loads of different updates on there. Like there's a little like welcome to everybody who came in last night, goodbye to everybody who's leaving today, kind of thing. So that's nice that they make the effort for that. I'll get that back just so I can read other interesting stuff. They give you 3 online activities that you can do today, so that's pretty helpful. So yeah, just the whole thing seemed really like massage you and guide you through day-to-day stuff here to just give you something to do. Luckily, I've got something to do. Yeah, that was lame. Alright, well that's lunch. I'll just go back to eating, I guess. So, dinner time. It is already, it's 6:30, already super dark outside. I forget that it's like on its way to winter now in New Zealand, so I've moved from the sun going down at about 10 PM in London to like, it's dark by 6 o'clock. And I can feel it in my body already that I've got like the jet lag, like sleep's kicking in. So I was pretty much ready to go to bed a minute ago, but dinner's just arrived, and yeah. So this is my dessert. Pecan tart, looks pretty good, and then this one I can smell it already, and it's still warm. So this is the salmon with parmesan baked salmon with citrus word I can't pronounce. Freekeh. Is it freke? Yeah, with whatever. It's got that on it, and broccoli almadine. almondine, almond. I'm gonna stop that. So yeah, that's my dinner. Also with another additional bottle of water. Can't get enough of the water. That's day one in the bag. 13 to go. If I had, I guess I should start like carving them into the wall, like prison style. If we're gonna keep this authentic prison motif going. That's my day over. To do it all again with different food tomorrow, I guess.